Hello again, and the first song I'm going to be teaching you is I Got the Blues and I Can't Be Satisfied. And my name again is Alfie Smith, and we are in Open D. Alright, we went through that before in the first little segment. Just to familiarize, let's do it one more time. It'll be D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. Alright, I'm just going to play it through once so you know what the song is. I'll probably play an instrumental, sing a verse, play an instrumental, and then out. And then we'll walk through and we'll start learning the body of the song. Okay? And this progression would be called a 1-4-5, which is the most common progression as far as blues songs go. I got the blues, I can't be satisfied. So I got the blues, I can't be satisfied. Someday, baby, I'm gonna get that train right. Last time through is I played it a little more simplified, and that's to show you what I expect of you and how we're going to start learning it. The first times through was how I would play it as a professional musician, and then the last time through, like I said, was more simplified and where I'd like to start. Alright, so like I said, this song is called a 1-4-5, which has D, G, and A chords in it. And like I said in the first part, the D is open or 12th fret, and then your G is as the 5th fret, which is your 4 chord, and then your G is at the 7th fret, which is your 5 chord. So the first thing I'd like to do is also explain to you, when you play slide, your slide becomes the fret. So normally when you play guitar, you play between the frets. So, you know, like when you press down on your finger, and the finger creates the circuit which stops the string's length at the fret. So therefore that becomes where the string starts, and where it ends is at the bridge. And that becomes your new note. But when you play slide, if you put it in the middle, you're between notes, because this is the takeoff point. The slide is the takeoff point, no longer the fret. So you need to put this where the fret is to be in tune. All right? So when you start sliding, you have to start on the fret. Later on, when you get a little better and a little more skilled, you start just before the fret and go to the fret, and that gives you that kind of human voice quality, sort of like. And that's your vibrato. And slide's kind of an interesting thing because everyone has their own sort of personality and voice, and you can kind of hear different players. You know, Dwayne Allman had a certain vibrato. Ry Cooder has a very different vibrato, and then, you know, everyone sounds just a little bit different, and it's who you are. It's kind of neat. Whereas a guitar, sometimes when you're fretting, it's hard to discern between certain players just by their feel, you know. But slide, you really point out that sort of thing. All right, so we're going to start off on the 1. And what we're going to be doing is finger picking. And basically, we're going to be doing kind of a pinch. So you're going to be taking your your first and your second finger. And basically, their home is going to be on the B and the E string, the 2 highest strings. All right, and your thumb, because you're an open D, your root is always on the bottom. So you're going to be on the low D string, or E string, which is now a D. So your B and your E for your first 2 fingers, and your thumb for the low E or D string, depending on, you know, what you want to call it. So that's how we play the 1 chord, which is your D. And that's kind of da-da, da-da, da-da. And just to start, so you learn the body of the song, we're just going to go through with pressing the finger just across the fret. So we get familiar with the progression itself, and then we'll start adding in the slide. So. Now to the 7th fret, back to the 5th fret, and then open. And then to the 7th again, which is your turnaround. Let's start with the beginning. 1, 5, off. And we're going to be going back to the 5th fret, which is your 4 chord. Which is your 5th chord, to the 5th fret, which is your 4th chord, to the 1. Now you turn around to the 7th. Now we'll try the slide. Right up to the 5th fret and then off. Up to the 5th fret. Now off. So that's the very, very basic progression. Hopefully as you progress, you'll be able to do some kind of roll with your fingers. But just to get started, that's the best way to go. All right, let's do the slide one more time. And instead of just going to the open, I'm going to go to the 12th fret because that also takes place of the 1 chord or the open, which is the D chord. All right, so let's do it one more time, and I will replace the 1 for the 12. Okay? So that's the basic body of the song. Now you can stop and go back to the beginning and go through it one more time, or as many times as you want. It takes a long time to get a proper slide intonation. So don't feel discouraged. You're going to sound bad for quite a while if this is new to you. My biggest advice is just keep going. Don't stop. And annoy your parents or your siblings as much as you possibly can. All right. So now I'm going to teach you a couple little tricks which are a little more advanced. So I'm trying to lay this out so you can go where you want to with this. So this is a little more advanced. So if you want, stop here and go back. So the next thing I'm going to teach is just kind of a few little tricks to make it sound a little fuller. All right, so we're going to start playing on the A string and the B string. We're going to fret with our middle two fingers, our middle finger and our ring finger. We're going to put each on the third fret. We're going to put, on the third fret, we're going to put it, I don't know if you can see it, but like that. I don't know. Let me take the slide off so you can see a little better. So you put your ring finger on the B string on the third fret, and you take your middle finger and you put it on the A string on the third fret. And what you're going to be doing is walking down. So you start on 3, 2, 1, off. Now again, 3, 2, 1. And with your right hand, you're going to be playing the A and the B string together as a pinch. All right. All right, so that's kind of a turnaround. So it's a good way to start a song or to do the turnaround. So if you want. And then you go into it. All right. The other thing I would like to teach you is the fretted chords that you can mix in. So instead of just playing straight across, I'm going to teach you the actual chords. So we're kind of lucky here. With Open D, you can play an E7 chord shape, and that actually is your G chord. So you fret just like you would a normal E. So your normal cluster, I'll take the slide off again so you can see. So that's your normal E chord. So that means your ring finger on the 5th fret, and normally you put your ring finger on the D string on the 2nd fret, and then you'd put your index finger on the G string on the 1st fret. But in this case, you just have to do the 2 fingers. So you take your ring finger off. So that's an E, that's an E7. But just those 2 fingers is your 4 chord, which is your G. So open is your 1, which is your D. And then you make your E7 shape, which is now your G chord. And then all you have to do to make your A chord, which is your 5th in the progression, is you take your middle finger and move it down 1 string. So you have 2 fingers next to each other, one on the 1st fret on the G string, and then on the 2nd fret on the D string. And that becomes your A. So G, A. And when you're playing, here's a little trick that I do, because I think a lot of guitar playing is finding the shortest and easiest way from one point to another. So instead of a lot of beginner guitar players, when they go from one chord to another, they take their hand completely off between chords. So instead of doing this, take your hand off and finding it again. Use your index finger as your root, and you can do this in any kind of chord. So if you're playing a C and then you go into an F, you can use your index finger as your root. So you play the 4 chord, which is your G, leave your index finger on, and just move your middle finger just down one, and you're at your A chord. So that's your G, that's your A, and off is open. All right, so let's do the progression while playing these closed or open chords, I should say. So. So that's your 1, 4, 5, and your D, G, and A. So let's play it and try to mix it up. We'll go slow. By the way, I hope I'm not going too fast. I'm used to teaching people with the person sitting in front of me, and you get feedback from someone, and you can tell how fast to go or how slow to go. So, like I said, hopefully you can stop, rewind if I'm going too fast, and start again. And hopefully this is inclusive for most playing levels. All right, so let's play it again, but I'm going to do a mixture of open chords and slide. So I'm just going to start it off playing it straight with the open chords, and then I'll start mixing in a little slide. All right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That train and ride. All right, so that might have been a little fast, but all the tricks that I taught you in the body before are there. You just have to find out where to put them. And as a teacher, myself personally, what I want to do is build a student's vocabulary, and that way they can take these words or structure and put their own sort of style to it. I'd rather teach someone to speak than just memorize by rote. That's just my own personal feeling as a teacher. And the last little thing there that I did, when you're ending the song, it's kind of nice. You go to the 11th fret and then slide up to the 12th. All right, so start on the 11th. There. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and so this is I got the blues and I can't be satisfied, in the key of D with open D, so it's D, G, and A. All right, that's it for this lesson. I'm going to come back and teach you a second song in D, and then I'm also going to be teaching 2 songs in G, and in teaching about how to tune to open G. Thanks so much for listening. Thank you for Paisley Blues Festival for sponsoring this. I really hope you enjoy it, and I hope I'm not going too fast, but thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoy playing as much as I do. Have a great day.